Welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town, and we're here tonight to celebrate Black History Month with a flag raising. We're kicking it off with a little ceremony inside here where we'll present a proclamation to the people on my left, which is 4 of the 7 members of the Human Rights Commission: Reyes Pawasgar, Don Green, Denise Anderson, and Glenn Morgan. Almost forgot your name, Glenn. To my right, I was so worried about saying Denise and not Marie. I always introduce Denise as Marie and Marie as Denise. I was so focused on that I forgot who the chairman was. To my right, Council President Corey Spiller, covering the 3rd Ward of Avenel and Port Reading. At-large Councilwoman Lisbeth De Jesus. 2nd Ward Councilman Howie Bauer, covering Ford's, Hopewell, and Casby. At-large Councilman Greg Ficarra. 5th Ward Councilwoman Debbie Mean, covering Colonia, and Councilman at-large Kyle Anderson. So this is our annual ceremony. I'm going to just talk a little bit about the Human Rights Commission and then let Glenn take over. It's a group we formed many years ago, 2020 in particular, after a lot of turbulence in the community over a whole bunch of national issues, and we wanted to figure a way to deal with that. My Chief of Staff, Carol Orlick, remembered that there was a Human Rights Commission on the books many, many years ago. In fact, it was Glenn's mother, Pauline Morgan, that was the organizer of that, who kind of put that together and was the president of it. It became defunct for a while, and then we thought, what a perfect person to lead the new version of the Human Rights Commission, in Glenn Morgan, who's this, like I said, it was his mom who basically started it and was the force for civil rights in Woodbridge Township all during the 50s and 60s. So I'm going to turn it over to Glenn now. He's going to help us with the flag raising. The commission meets 7 or 8, 9 times a year on Monday nights. I think it's the 2nd Monday. Have a whole host of things they do. They're involved with us on affordable housing and domestic violence and other things, homeless. They've been a great resource for us. I'm going to now ask Glenn if he'll say a few words about the Human Rights Commission, and we'll go outside and raise a flag.
Okay, I'm prepared this time. Okay, I just want to welcome everybody here to this particular occasion here, and I wanted to, thank our mayor for recognizing the contributions to the African Americans that have contributed to this country. As I have said in the past, I am honored to continue my parents' legacy as chairman of the Human Rights Commission, to create an environment that allows all of our citizens of every ethnicity to have an outlet to voice their concerns related to their human rights. It's even more important now that we acknowledge the African American contributions, since some are trying to erase it. Even the thought of it is just not acceptable, and African American history is American history, and we have to always keep that, in mind. As far as our HRC meetings, they are held here in these chambers. You can find the dates on the website, the times, and you are more than welcome. And I'm speaking to everybody out there in TV land as well. The dates and information is found on the website. So we are welcoming you to come and voice your concerns or anything that you have to say. Thank you.
You can do better than that. Talk about your involvement. We got Phil Hall in the audience with the Independent Club of Colonia. You jointly handle the Martin Luther King celebration every year. You do the essay contest for the kids. Give me some more of that, man. You got a minute to brag.
All right. Well, I was saving some of that for the council for later that I had set up. But anyway, the essay, we performed the essay contest for the township. We had 15 schools that were involved, all the elementaries at the 5th grade level, and they had to internally figure out who was the winner of each of their schools. From that, those 15 winners came to us, and at the Human Rights Commission, we had to decide who that one winner was.
Better you than us.
Oh boy, let me tell you. First of all, the principals, I could just imagine what they dealt with and went through. But it was the detail and the information that was written on these essays that just hit you. I mean, some of them I had to go over 2 or 3 times just to try to, look at the detail. And all of them had to do with diversity, equity, and inclusion in some way, shape, or form. And that was which was so touching about it. And that's why for us to make that decision to pick one out of it, it was very, very, really hard. But we did, we got it done, and we had an excellent venue over at the Acacia Center where we honored the kids. I asked all the parents just to stand up at one point, and we applauded them, because that's the key right there for going forward and for our future. They're the ones that are setting the stage. And we gave them a big round of applause and whatnot. So that's also on the TV for 35 for anybody who wants to see it as well. So we gotta, we here at this township have shown the diversity that we have both in the council as well as the Human Rights Commission. And we have to keep that going forward. And we also, going back, even talking about the police and what was set up for that, for us to hire the police officers and the different, the ways we went about hiring them. There was a process that was implemented that was approved by the council. So that's just another way of trying to create that diversity that we have here in this township. So we'll move forward and keep on doing our thing.
Thank you, sir.
How's that?
I'd like to now ask the very first ever elected black councilman in Woodbridge Township history, of going back, let's see, probably almost 14 years now, 13, 14 years since Kyle Anderson replaced Pat Osborne on the town council, which was very ironic because she was his teacher at John F. Kennedy High School. It's a great story. So Kyle, would you say a few words now?
Just want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Black History Month is a special time for everyone, especially in the schools where we can see our teachers and our students embracing the history, the legacy that a lot of our historians, scientists, a lot of our historical leaders, that they have, what they've done, and that we're capturing that information, and that these young people are speaking about it. But, as Glenn pointed out, Black history is American history. Some people say, when is Black History Month? And they say January to December, right? Which is accurate. It's accurate. And, but nowadays we do have certain groups where we have a month, or we have a day, or we have a special holiday that we recognize. But February is the month that we do recognize Black History Month. The HRC has done a fantastic job. And I'm glad that the mayor and his administration saw to it that we revitalize that organization. We need all of our organizations in town. We have members of the Independent Club of Colonia. We have some of our gentlemen that are here from a local social club. When people drive around through Woodbridge, it shouldn't really faze them when they see different faces, Woodbridge right now is an extremely diverse town, and it's a very well-run town, and we feel like we have a lot of peace here in this town. We want to make sure that people feel comfortable living amongst one another, and the way we do that is that we understand that everyone contributes to our way of life. Everyone has contributed, and when you realize that, and you look at your neighbor and you say, wow, they're doing some amazing things. And I look to my other side, and my other neighbors are doing some really good things. That's how we become a community, and that's how we get past our differences. And we look at what we have more in common. We have more in common than we know. And but when you sit down at the table and you talk about that, and you talk about your children and your families, you realize we have more in common than we really think. And but at the same time, it is important that we recognize all of our greatness, as they say, Black excellence, right? There's so much that we have to be thankful for, because our ancestors don't have it as easy as we have it now. Right now, we're in a period where we can get out in front of these issues and talk about them openly and have forums that are going to be accepted. where our parents and our grandparents, they had a very tough, very, very tough time. And we need to be grateful and thankful that they endured what they did so that we can sit in here and we can have a room full of people that have the same equality and equity as others. The mayor pointed out in 2011, I was appointed through the council to be the first black councilman, first black elected official. But I found out very quickly, it doesn't begin and end with me, that it takes our entire community to make sure that we recognize all of what we do and recognize that we're a part of a community and that we need to make sure that we continue to do our part and that we continue to converse and have great conversations about what being from Woodbridge, what being from New Jersey, what being from the United States of America all stands for, right? And we can stand proudly when we pledge that flag, and we can stand proudly when we sing the national anthem, that we are included in all of that and included in many of our historians and many of our leaders and their dream. So I just want to thank you all for coming, and thanks to the HRC for leading tonight, and have a great flag raising. And anybody in our community, make sure you come by, take a picture in front of the flag. Thank you.
One thing to remind you, we have on our website, Meg, is it the mayor's Facebook page, the vignettes?
And the township website.
And the township website, there's vignettes of famous black leaders in Woodbridge history and other history, one every day. It's a phenomenal presentation. Megan is our assistant communications director. She works with John Haggerty, and her and Kelly Walsh, who is our social media coordinator, have put it together every year. It's updated all the time. It's fantastic to just go there, click on it every day, or wait a couple of days and click all the way back and see what you missed. We do the same thing for Women's History Month, working with Lizbeth DeJesus and Sharon McAuliffe and Debbie Meehan. So check out those resources and see what we have as far as people in history who have done great things in the name of black history in Woodbridge Township. Now I'd like to ask our council president if he'd like to say a few words tonight about this ceremony. Corey Spiller.
Good evening. Thank you. As Councilman Anderson and the mayor said, we are a very diverse township, and it started with the council, school district, all our boards and commissions, and then in 2020, when the Human Rights Commission was reformed, it continued with that. I know when you guys were formed again, I speak for myself, I speak for all the my fellow councilmates, but I know I sat down and was able to have a conversation, pretty much everyone on the commission, very positive conversations about everything that's going on and what anybody can do to be better for our township. So I want to commend you for that. And I have to say, I watched that Martin Luther King essay. God bless you, because I would not want to be having to judge that. But we're going to have a great flag raising. And again, as Councilman Anderson said, it's Black History Month, but it's something that we celebrate and commemorate and talk about for the entire year. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Corey. If the commissioner would now come up and hold the plaque, I'll present it to President Morgan. If the four of you would take a picture with it, and then the council will join in.
Mayor, Council. How are you?
Tighter, thank you, good.
I think we're ready. Let's wait for the shot. Yeah, we're good. Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3.
Raise the flag.
Yes,